Becoming a mother is one of the best things in the world. Being a child is truly a beautiful thing. It is the creation of two people's love. The child grows slowly into the body in the mother's womb. The head grows, arms, its facial features, all that, it grows slowly. And when time comes, you give birth, and the child is brought into this world. But if you look at it from a different point of view, being a child can be very, very frightening. Especially if the child was in unattended pregnancy, right? You wake up each morning, being terrified. Your body is changing. Your reputation will be damaged. All this burden that's put on you, on your body, and you have to live through this. How will you support the child? You don't know. Do you have the money? Do you have a place for you to live in with a child? All that is all fuzzy in your brain. Can't wrap your head around it. Now this is where abortion comes into the picture. Abortion should be legalized, especially for the women who are unable to consistently support themselves or a child financially. Now, I'm speaking for all women that they should have the opportunity or decision, choice to abort the child if they themselves believe that they're not ready yet to have that child. The 3 points in my speech that I'll be focusing on, and it'll be on why abortion should be legalized, especially if the woman can't support themselves financially. An unwanted child, one of the points is how unwanted children will not have a happy childhood because they're unwanted and they're born into this world and they won't have a happy childhood. Another point is how unwanted children limits the mother from education and financial opportunities. And the third point is how many who abort are from low-income minority groups. So abortion should be legalized to make their lives easier. First point, unwanted children will not have a happy childhood if they're born into this world, being unwanted already. Healthypeople.gov found out that children from unattended pregnancies are more likely to experience poor mental and physical health during childhood and have behavioral issues in their teen years. Excuse me. Parents are less emotionally supportive and loving towards each child. Why? Because they didn't want the child in the first place. They see this child as a burden. They see this child as someone who is hindering them from being successful and from reaching their dreams. Now, young mothers will not be able to achieve higher education also. And this is how, they're being wanted. Now, there's a story about this young boy who published his story on experiences.edu about how he never received support from his mother, no matter what. Especially times when he tried to suicide, he was going through depression, he was stressed out. His mother was never there for him. It was because of him that his mother had to reunite with her ex. Her dreams were shattered by him. And he was, feeling depression and feeling guilty for the rest of his life. And even after his mother's death, he just, fell into depression because he didn't have that motherly figure in the first place. And, the mother, that he so-called mother, it's gone forever in his life. And he was forever scarred by this, being born to a family where he was unwanted. That harmed him a lot. Second point is how women mothers, minority mothers, who have unattended pregnancies will not be able to achieve higher education and truly support themselves financially and efficiently. According to BetterHealth.gov, younger women associated with pregnancies who do not complete the education will possibly have long-term unemployment. They earn an average of approximately $3,500 less per year. They receive nearly twice as much federal aid and for twice as long too. And they're less likely to, they're less likely to graduate from high school or attain their GED. These women who have unwanted pregnancies and unwanted childbirths, they'll refrain to EBT food stamps, welfare, government support, and they will never ever have the time to actually go back and get their education and achieve higher education, therefore not obtaining the highest potential that they can get. Now, I can relate personally to this. My mother, she became pregnant with my sister, and that was when she was in high school. And during that time, she just couldn't handle all of the burden and all of the emotional feelings that came with it. So she did not finish high school. She did not finish. She did not obtain her high school diploma. And ever since then, she's been relying on ABC food, and it was very, very hard for her to, go back to school. And, just starting from what she left off, it's a very hard thing to do. And she's often depressed about how, because she decided to have that child, she couldn't obtain higher education and she cannot get a job. She's currently unemployed. Just all this depression and guilt from within is causing her, to reflect on her life, and it's affecting her, in a negative way. So the third point is how low-income women often turn to abortion unless the pregnancy was intentional. So in December 2013, GoodMatcher.com found out that poor women's high rate of unintended pregnancy results in their also having high rates of both abortions and unplanned births. So these women, who are low-income minority women, who have unintended pregnancies, they recognize that and admit that they are not truly ready and stable enough to have, family or support another one in the family, or even support themselves. That's why they turn to abortion. And it's very popular in the, low minority women group who experience unintended pregnancies. They often turn to abortion because that's the only solution. They know what they can handle, they know what they cannot handle. Mathias, woman of color, for example, she made a very serious, logic, and difficult decision about her reproductive health. Mathias was already working, going to college, and was trying to raise her son, who was just 2 years old. She knew that it would have been too much for her. Therefore, she made the very logical and difficult decision of aborting the child within her body. So these three factors should be taken into consideration about, as why abortion should be legalized. Especially if there are women who cannot support their child. They have low income. They don't have that access. So it would be nice if they could have abortion as an option. And I'm not only talking about, just minority women. I'm talking about all women. Every woman has their own circumstance, and they have to make that difficult decision to abort. Like I said, must be open-minded and know that this is a woman's bodies too. This is, they have their own right. They can do whatever they want with their body. They want that child or not. What they think is, healthy for them at the moment, because they don't want to bring a child into the world who's unwanted, and especially if they're going to suffer a life, financially, and not get the support that the child truly needs to be healthy and happy. Abortion is a really logical and serious, decision to make. Of course, one would not want to, take out the baby inside of them, but if it turns out to that, you have to make the decision logically. Therefore, abortion should be legalized, especially for the women who are minority groups who cannot support themselves financially. Thank you.